everybody, and welcome to the FFL Solidity podcast. My name is Marisa Maggio, and I'm super excited to be on today, as this is an extremely exciting episode. We have a brand new senior sales manager, part of FFL Solidity. I'm now introducing Rami Hamady with Family First Life Financial Society. Rami, how are you doing today?
I'm doing great, Marisa. Thanks for having me. How are you doing today?
I'm doing amazing. And, I'm really excited to be hitting this podcast off because not only has Rami hit senior sales manager, meaning that him and his team are helping over 100 families a month and on the up and up with that, but Rami also hit Hall of Fame the week before that. So hitting two huge accomplishments back-to-back weeks is absolutely amazing. So just really proud of you for that.
Thank you.
But without further ado, for everybody kind of tuning in today, what we're hoping for you to get out of this call is, Rami's going to tell a little bit about his story, but how you can also duplicate the same exact thing and get the same exact results, if not better results, right? Because FFL is evolving each and every day, new systems, new structures to help make everybody's life easier. Now, with that being said, Rami, if you don't mind, a little bit of an introductory on yourself and kind of what got you to building a team.
Yep. So again, my name is Rami Hamady. I'm with FFL Financial Society and FFL Solidity. So I was in the insurance industry for about 1 year and 8 months now. And the funny thing is I found that out by checking my John Hancock portal. It's really funny to hear that. So what made me want to start building in this industry was I really liked the idea of being self-employed and owning my own business from day one. Here at Family First Life, they give you that opportunity. You have the opportunity here to start day one, your own independent agency owner. Now, you don't have to come in here and build right away, but I obviously did. When I first came in here, I saw Marisa, I saw exactly what she was doing, what Christina was doing, and I truly understood that, hey, if I really want to hit the ground running here, sure, I can do personal production. I can help my family and help many families, but outside of helping, our families via leads, I can help other families, which are my coworkers, people, my business partners, people who are actually joining the opportunity with me, who want to go down, come in the trench with me, and actually really grow this thing. And that truly is what opened my eyes to this business and really made me feel like, you know what, Rami, I want to come in and start building this right from day one.
Absolutely. And, Rami, just to kind of cut you off there, because I know we can both talk a lot, but with that being said, you looked at the opportunity from a stance of, hey, I can come in and I can help a bunch of families by personally producing and helping my family, in a generous way, right? But not only that, you saw the long-term vision of, I don't necessarily want to be out in the field at 80 years old, protecting families, right?
Of course not. No, I don't think any of us want to do that.
Right. So, and most folks don't. I mean, come in, but we do want to make some money in the beginning because most of us don't come in, rich, right? I know I didn't. But you also saw the business opportunity. You said, okay, I see the opportunity that I can help and provide for my family, but I also see the long-term goal, right? And I think that everybody can see that because in prior organizations I worked in, you had to hit X level and you had to do X thing. The great thing about Family First Life, just like you're saying, Rami, is you came in and, day one from when you went full time, you put your head down and you started going. Now you say you've been here for a year and 8 months, but how long have you been full time?
Been full time now for about a year.
About a year, like a little under a year. I think,
a little
right?
under. This was my first full year. Once December 31st hits, I'll have completed my first full year in the insurance industry.
Awesome. So we're about 10 months in, give or take. So kind of with that being said, Rami, when you said I'm full time, you had left the hospital because that was your prior, and you said I can still help people. That wasn't the big conversation with you and I can still help people. And that's what I like to do. I like to help people, right? And you said I can come here, I can just help them in a different way. And I think that's beautiful, right? And you were able to do that with your clients. And then boom, you start working part-time, but you were also fully committed. You were probably working 40 hours a week at Family First Life while working 40 hours a week at your prior job.
Correct.
Right? So when you came in full time, you said, now I'm going to build this business. What were some of the first things that you put in place that you said, okay, I need to have this, this, and this in order to say I'm actually building a business?
So first I need to make sure I had a structure and for myself. So I make sure, first of all, my dial day, my run days, I had to make sure I still was in the field leading from the front, because in order to run a business, you have to fund a business. In order to fund a business, you gotta have some money. In order to get money, you have to go out there and help some families. So from day one, that's the one thing I needed capital. So in order to get capital, I had to go out there and help families. Secondary, I knew immediately if I want to grow a business, one of two things is going to happen. Either I'm going to have to become my staff, which means I'm going to be my admin, my recruiter, my social media manager, anything you could think of in regards related to the business. That's what I wore all the hats, because in the beginning, that's all I was, just me. There was no one else. I didn't have money to go spend on staff. I couldn't do that, but I knew I needed staff. So at first, like I mentioned, I was my staff, but then all of a sudden, shortly after, I got staff. So I think probably about 2 or 3 months in, I said, you know what? I got a call. They said, hey, you know what? We have a few recruiters. Let's see if we can find out that works. I talked to a couple people, ended up finding my recruiter, and that's I saw Melissa, my recruiter. Some of you guys may know. And then ever since then, we started working together, and that was one of the main things I knew I needed was staff. Secondary, well, it's not secondary, tertiary, or third. I need to make sure that I had a systematic onboarding process. Lucky enough, I was very, very blessed to have Marisa and Christina, and they had a very, very nailed down patent onboarding system. I knew that, hey, I send you this email, guys, there's all the steps. All you have to do is follow it. If you can't follow it, that's on you. And I don't want to work with anybody that cannot follow that kind of system, right?
And I want to pause you right there, right? So the great thing about Family First Life, just like when you come in on the personal producing side, you had a blueprint, right? And what I hear you saying is, just like I came in on the business building side, I had a blueprint that I can follow, right? And this was the blueprint.
Correct.
Right? So you said, I'm just going to follow the blueprint. And you kept it moving.
That's right.
Love it.
Very simple, just like that. Because the thing is, a lot of people who come in this business, they think they have to reinvent the wheel. They have to think that, it worked for these groups, it's not going to work for me. Or that, it sounds cool. It sounds like it's simple, but no, I have to go and build this funnel here. I have to go make this kind of lead generation system. No, guys, that's not how that works at all. All we have to do is spread the opportunity. Word of mouth, guys, is the biggest marketing promoter, because I can put so many ads out there, but it's like, it doesn't matter. Word of mouth is the best, in my words, the best way of recruiting. So basically what I did was, like I said, I was reach up and out, and I just kept talking, spreading the opportunity, because if you don't spread the opportunity, you're going to come in here and then you're going to have a tough time, because you're going to regret you didn't do that. Because when you spread the opportunity, one, you do not know who you bring in, because maybe I'm not building the best business right away in the beginning, but I could bring somebody on board and they know how to build a business. They maybe know how to do everything the right way. They've come from an entrepreneur background. They come from a business background, such as myself. My father had a lot of business backgrounds, and I saw a business being built when I was younger, but it's not like running your own business. Watching from the outside like a fly on the wall is completely different than running your own business. But then here, when you see everyone else doing it, like you said, you have that blueprint. It makes it much easier to kind of go forth. And it gives your agents trust. They feel comfortable. They understand that, hey, you know what? That he followed the system, and look what the result was. I know if I follow this to the T, I'm going to have the same exact result, because that's true, guys. It's a numbers game. Now, everybody's learning curve may be a little bit elongated. It may be a little bit delayed or different, but we all are going to get to the finish line. It just matters about how much work and sweat equity we're willing to put in right away.
Absolutely. And I remember when you came in, I always talk about this concept, not just to you, I talk to everybody about it, of, as me and Paul McLean like to call it, and maybe for lack of a better term, business welfare, right? And really what we mean by that is, when we typically ask a new agent, do you want to build a team? The answer is usually, yes, but, right? Yes, but, and it's usually, yes, but what?
I'm not ready.
I'm not ready. I want to learn. I want to make sure I can do it before I'm showing other people how to do it. I want to make sure I'm really good at it. Now, Rami, would it be fair to say that there's a lot of people out there who probably know a lot of people? Maybe they come into this opportunity day one. They're not hitting the ground running, but they have 20 people around them that need the opportunity, and they would hit the ground running.
Of course.
But with that being said, going back to business welfare, what does that mean? All right. So before you judge me and Paul McLean, because we love you all. Business welfare, as I explained to Rami, was essentially, hey, Rami, right now your top priority as a brand new agent is to go out and to help families, is to sell life insurance, right? Point blank, end of story. Now, secondary to that, we understand that you are investing back into your business. You hired a recruiter. You're buying recruiting leads, right? All these things come into play. But we want to make sure that you're still able to be out there helping families. And we don't necessarily expect you to teach somebody else how to run their business. So we said, Rami, your first few agents, we're going to teach you as you go through it to make sure that you can still be selling at a high level, right? And do you feel like that helped you or gave you some sense of confidence to be able to go ahead and take the next steps?
Of course it did. It relieves pressure. It basically, I understand that, hey, if I can't do something, if I don't know how to do it, I can kind of pass the torch. It's very similar. It's like a marathon. It's like, you have someone else to count on. I don't have to run the whole 10 meters. I know that. I have to run the meter. 2 meters. Do my job. Do my part. Pass on the torch, and then you're going to do your job. You're going to do your part. You're going to pass on, and so forth. It's a cycle. It's rinse, wash, repeat. So me understanding that I had someone there like you and like your sister and other Paul McLean and others just there to kind of help guide me and take off the stress, take off the workload where, hey, if I'm in the field and I can't answer these calls, I know my agent's calls are going to be answered. I know if they can't get contracted, I have to send a simple text message, a simple email, and it's going to get fixed. Now, of course, I have to put the work in. I have to remind them. I have to stick up the things. I'm not saying that they're running my business for me by any means of the word. But what that means is if I need the help, I know it's there. I know that, hey, I don't have to worry about it. I'm not going to be stressed when I'm in the field thinking this will not get done. Like I know to my whole heart that I know it will get done. Doesn't matter who it is, it's going to get done. And that's truly what business welfare is. You want to understand, guys, that you're gonna be helped. Like we don't expect you to become the best personal producer, like Marisa said, and the best builder. We know that you can do either or. Some come in and do it. That's great. I'm happy if you can. Amazing to you. Props to you. But at the same time, we know that, hey, if you can't, do not be scared. Don't be anxious. It's gonna be completely okay. I'm telling you, I experienced it. That like I'm the first one to experience it. I was nervous in the beginning. I thought, you know what, if I'm building, how am I going to help them? How am I going to contract them? I don't have XYZ staff. I don't have all these people. I didn't need any of that. All you need is your uplines, and they all care about you. They're there to support you. And like she said, they're there to help guide your agents for you. But then once you're ready to kind of take on that or that workload per se, then they're hands off. And then now it's up to you. But at least by that point, you know exactly what to do and how to do it. So when you start hiring your recruits, when you start hiring other agents and bringing on other business partners, you know exactly what to do and you know what to tell them for their agents and their families. Because at the same time, I know that if you didn't tell me that, I wouldn't tell my agents that. And then now I know that I'm relieving pressure off my agents because they know that if they need to build, I'm going to do it for them in the beginning. I'm going to help them. I'm going to contract their agents for them. I'm going to make sure they have the new agent training, the boot camps, all the scripts, all the tools needed, how to buy leads, what kind of leads to buy, the whole nine.
Right. You're going to make sure they had everything that they needed to get up and going successfully, right?
Exactly.
And by the way, business welfare gets cut off after a certain amount of time, right? You know,
very true.
According to Rami, his got cut off early, you know, but hey, we're only kidding. But with that being said, you know, you talk about how it's a blueprint, it's foundation, it's laid out, and really kind of throughout that process, though, those first like 3 months of building, right? That's when we really we all still help each other. That's what a team does, right? But at the same time, those first 3 months, did it help you learn how to bring agents in and actually be like, okay, this makes sense? It helped you put the pieces together.
It did, yes. It really
Just
did.
like on the personal producing side, it helped you put the pieces together in certain avenues. On the building side, it helped you say, hey, this isn't that scary anymore.
No,
right?
not at all. It's very,
because you saw it all happening.
Exactly. It's a very simple process, guys, to understand in the building process because, again, everyone thinks that when we say you have to build a business, LLC, S Corp, you have to have all these extravagant and crazy ideas. Guys, no. All you have to do is basically understand that, all right, you're going to be funding your business, that you are all of your capital, you are the inventory. So you have to basically, provide the resources for your staff or for yourself. After that, call them. Pick up the phone, call the person. They're interested in the opportunity because they applied somewhere, right? You talk to them. Say, hey guys, do you want to get in this opportunity? I'll tell you this. If I know, Marisa, if we ask 10 different people and we say, hey guys, if I told you all you have to do is for 12 hours in a week, just go on the phones, and then for 8 hours, you have to just go see home to home, but you're guaranteed to help 5 to 10 families, would you do it? That's 20 hours a week for 5 to 10 families. I think everyone in the world is going to say yes. But they just don't understand that. All we have to do is spread the opportunity and it's going to build by itself. It's like planting. Everyone says you plant the seeds and the harvest will come eventually. But once the tree grows, That's it. You got the branches, you got the fruit. It's self-sustainable. It's going to keep going. All you have to do is plant the roots.
Absolutely. And Rami, I want to talk about a more challenging time because we can always talk about how great everything is and it's rainbows and it's butterflies and it's sunshine, right? But reality says that that's not business, right? Talk to me a little bit about when you were going through, your process of getting people onboarded, right? And you were like excited about everybody, which by the way, that's normal. And we all should be excited about everybody. And I kind of told you, hey, keep your expectations low and keep, what you really want to see in an agent high, right? Don't lower your expectations, but don't expect that everyone's going to be at your same energy level or want the same things that you want, right? What were some things that you were able to kind of identify through the hiring process or through bringing agents on board that you stopped taking those things more personal? Because I remember in your first maybe 90 days of building, you were walking around, you're I don't know what's happening. Am I just throwing my money out the window with these recruiting resources and my staff? And then all of a sudden, boom, right? And what changed? What happened? Talk to us a little bit about how you felt and kind of your afterthought.
Yeah, so what happened was I understood the process basically. At the end of 90 days, I knew it's delayed gratification. I understood that the people you put in your pipeline per se, in very layman terms, it's going to take time for it to build. You have to build your pipeline, send them through it, and it's like a funnel, guys. You can put 100 people to the top. You're going to filter, and at the very, very bottom, you're going to get the coffee, right? You're going to get the people who actually really want to try it. I did not understand that at first. I didn't know that when you put 200 in, you might only get 2 or 3 out who actually want to do something. I thought at first, if I hire a licensed agent, that they're automatically going to get moving. Anytime right in the beginning, specifically in the beginning, when I hired a licensed agent, I thought that means they're going to get moving. Because they're licensed, they knew the business. Because they knew the business, they're going to go and help 20, 30 families a month automatically. That soon I understood was not true. That's not true at all. So that's one thing I took with me, that I thought I was wasting money, because I thought that, hey, I'm getting all these resources and that I'm talking to all these licensed agents. They're all coming on board, but no one was moving. And what I truly realized in the beginning, when I was struggling, was it's connecting with the agent. You have to make them feel like a person, not just a number. You can't just, hire everyone and bring them on board and just say, hey, you know what? You're hired and you're good. No, they're human, guys. They all have certain situations. Sometimes it's like a plant at the same time. You have to tender, you have to care to a little bit differently, or like a baking recipe per se. Each cake has a different way to bake it, right? They have different recipes. They're also considered a cake. They're all pastries. It's all under the same umbrella. But at the same time, guys, they all have certain situations, certain variables that are going to help get that cake to the place where you want it to be, to bloom, right? To actually become edible. It's the same thing with an agent. So you have to really take that in consideration, that they're a human, that you have to actually take their feelings into account. You have to truly understand, what do they want from this opportunity? Do they just want extra money? Do they want to make sure their family never has to worry about money again? Is it just so they can, get out the house? All those factors I truly had to kind of understand and take in and really understand, like, okay, Rami, this is delayed gratification. This is how it's supposed to go. And this is how you're going to see your results. So in the beginning, I didn't do that. After, though, I soon realized that, you have to kind of, care a little bit more, be more open. I had to be more patient with my agents and myself specifically and the resources. And then after, I just understand that if today I don't see anything, it's okay. But if in 3 months I don't see anything, that's when it's a problem. So if I don't see something today, that's okay. But if 90 days I don't see the results, that's when I know I have to look inside, self-internalization, and say, okay, what am I doing wrong? Because in this business, guys, it's always a 90-day delayed gratification. As we all have seen, there's been some groups here that have tripled, quadrupled in 90 days. Like even my own group, I doubled in a month. So I thought about that myself, thinking that if I can double in a month, what can my group truly do in 90 days if we all just as a group, collective, cohesive effort, just all really push and try to build it together? And that's what, I know I'm going on a rampage, I'm going down a rabbit hole at the same time, but that's like what I really took from the business in the beginning, was that you really want to treat people as people, be patient, and understand that you may not see the results now, but you're going to see in the future. Just like Mark Mead and everyone else says, you're planting seeds. You plant the seeds, you gotta water them, you got to give the nutrients, you got to tend it, then all of a sudden, they'll bloom, and then come harvest season. When you harvest, not all the flowers that sprouted are going to be good. Some are going to come up, and some, they're just going to die over time. They're going to wither away, but you're going to have a nice big bunch of roses you can put in a bouquet, and you can go bring it to whoever you want. And that's how I kind of look at the business.
Absolutely. And I mean, it's a great perspective, because it's saying, anyone who is actually wanting to come in, they're wanting to win, you're able to identify them, right? If you're talking to, if you're talking to me and, you're bringing me on board with your team, and I tell you, I just want to do this like sometimes, like when I'm not, like when I have free time. And then you're talking to, let's just say Christina, and she says, I want to come in, I want to build a business, this is what I want to be doing, I want to be helping this many families a month. They have clear goals and clear expectations. You know who to work with. It goes back to the 80-20 rule in this business, flat like that. It's a hard reality, but it's about, okay, if you're not in the 20% and you're wanting to be, it shows you're capable of being in the top 20%. What do you have to change? Like Rami was talking about, his mindset had to change around the instant gratification with personal production. Whereas you go out, you help a family, America is sending you the commission statement the next day and it's hitting your bank account. Beautiful thing. Now with recruiting, you could be buying recruiting leads, for 30, 60, 90, 120 days and feel like you saw absolutely nothing out of it. But over that 90 to 120 day period is when you're actually going to start reaping the rewards, right? You're going to actually see the fruits of the labor of what you have done. And I think that you were a beautiful example of that, because I saw you getting hard on yourself, and literally the week after you had like 5 brand new people writing the first piece of the business. And then everything's just been flowing since. So with that being said, I guess talk to us a little bit about what your future plans are for your team and what you're excited for to wrap up the year.
Of course. So I want to wrap up the year. I want to wrap up the year close to 50 families a month, I believe, if I'm accurate. Yeah, I want to finish the year about 50 families a month. I want to at least have around 40 active riders by finishing the end of the year. I want to make sure that it's not just about me anymore. Now,
500 families a month.
500 families. Okay, I'm sorry guys, bad at math, long day, but 500 families a month. But my main point is it's not about me anymore, guys. It's basically about I want to now see outside of convention. I want to see who is going to be in my position today, next year. I want to know how many logos I'm going to have under me, how many people are going to be actually, having staff, talking to different recruits, and basically seeing how they want to build their business. I really want to see now who's going to step up and actually take on that role and take on the role of, you know what, I want to build this to help my family and help many other families. Because a lot of people say they want to do it, but not everybody steps up to the task. So that will be my goal personally for the team is 500 families and have at least a few logos by the end of the year.
Awesome. So getting to 500 families a month as a team, which is...
A month, yes.
Which is absolutely amazing. No doubt you guys will be there. You have some great people on your team who are steamrolling. They're up. They're ready to go. They're wanting to build a business. They invest in themselves and in their future. So anything you want to leave the audience with today, Rami?
Guys, just remember, take this. Don't take this opportunity for granted. You really want to make sure when you come in this business, hit the ground running. Because I promise you, if you delay, you procrastinate, you're going to kick yourself in the butt. This really moves fast. So I recommend everybody go sign up to a convention. If you have not signed up for a convention yet, hit that link, get all your friends and family there. And I promise you, big things happen after big events. So I promise you, if these podcasts and these videos you've been watching don't really motivate you to get going, get to convention, because that really will, guys. And that's what I'll leave you off with today.
Awesome. Well, Rami, thank you so much for being on. We love having you on the team, and welcome FFL Financial Society to FFL Solidity. We're extremely excited, and we know you guys are going to crush it. Now, last thing, Rami, if somebody's wanting to work with you or learn more about the opportunity, what's the best way for them to reach out to you?
You can reach out to me via Instagram on Rami.Hamady, Rami_Hamady, or you can find my agency page, FFL Financial Society, FFL Financial Society on Instagram.
And you'll see those links right below. Well, thank you guys so much for tuning in with us today. We appreciate you. Like, comment, subscribe, share. We appreciate your feedback, and we'll see you next week. Take care.